Hey everyone, can you help me by sharing our slides, please?
Okay, Rudy, we will help you with sharing the slides.
Okay, thank you.
Mm. Yeah. Can you see the screen, Rudy?
Uh, Hi everyone, my name is Clemens Ruhi. I'm from Kenya and I'm part of the KAT Tokenomics DAO. Next slide, please. Um, the overview in our DAO profile. Um, the KAT Tokenomics DAO implements and pilots the KAT reward and privilege framework shared. It's non-financial recognition system designed to support consistent transparency and ethical participation across the Cambria DAOs. Our vision is to develop and provide frameworks, templates, and system prototypes that enable individual DAOs to configure, manage, and operate their own recognition and framework models. Next slide, please. Our facilitator is Nu, Chan, and Yugen. Our DAO lead is Andrew. Our co-lead is Shibani. Um, Currently, we have two working groups. So the framework support and audit working group, which is led by Andrew, and the documentation and learning led by Adekunle, and the system prototyping led by me. The DAO duration is between mid-May and September. Um, the structure of our DAOs, we have the framework support and audit working group. The members include Andrew, Shibani, Gravit, me, and Adekunle for the system prototyping. We have me, Bhavya, and Shibani, and also Gavit is also a member of the system prototyping working group. Next slide, please. Um, for the master plan overview, so for our final master plan goals, what we intend to do is applying the KAT reward privilege framework to Dep2 DAOs, having a customizable DAO operational toolkit that will be used across all DAOs, a pilot integration across step 2 cohorts. So we'll be helping each DAO on finalizing their KAT reward and privilege framework. And then we'll be having an MVP web-based dashboard, which is a prototype, where you'll get to see how you input your contributions for the credit and how to apply the credit, karma, and KAT framework. And the working groups formed. So we have the framework and support. It applies the KAT reward and framework privilege framework across the three DAOs in Dep2, supporting each DAO in defining its specific configuration while developing an practical operating toolkit that enables the DAO organizers to implement the framework consistently, efficiently, and with minimal overhead. The system prototyping working group builds the MVP dashboard, and the documentation and learning working group documents the progress from all DAOs. Uh, so currently, our deliverables for milestone 1, the framework and support and audit working group was able to. Their first deliverable was governance, compliance, and audit toolkit. the core governance checklist and handbook alignment matrix, operational compliance and privacy audit protocol, the audit playbook and framework alignment and audit matrix completed. The DAO configuration and operational toolkit, a manual ledger blueprint, and verification engine interface, dependency mapping, DAO briefing pack, 3 DAO configuration working books, and triage and review integration completed. For the system prototyping working group, what we are able to do is build the foundation for the MVP dashboard. So we've completed most of the task for the deliverable one and still implementing the CAT and the credit card market framework. Yes. Next slide, please. For the documentation and learning working group, they are able to come up with a DAO operational toolkit, which will be implemented across the 3 DAOs, and it's customizable and reusable across the 3 DAOs. And the other one is DAO organizer operating guide, which is completed. It's a manual covering the 12 core operational steps with explicitly demarcation between the DAO team duties and the KTD duties. Next slide, please. So for the announcement, KTD is still restructuring. In the next phase, KTD will restructure from 3 working groups to 2 main working groups. So that is a framework, support and audit, and the system prototyping. Since most of the documentation and learning outputs depend on the FSA, and the DL could become a lien under the FSA rather than remain a separate working group. For the framework and support and audit working group, so the documentation and learning will be under the framework, support and audit working group, and the other working group is the system prototyping working group. Next slide, please.
We are reaching the final slide point. You can add some closing and we can move to the discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you, Ruhi, for representing the KTD team and share your first milestone deliverable. I am Julie, and I'm going to represent the KTD DAO facilitator team, and I would love to host the discussion session today. I want to address a question came from the pre-event feedback form from one of our member, Shibani. So he asked about the final KTD deliverable and the criteria to evaluating the execution phase and how KTD involved into upcoming cohort like D3 or even D4. So let me walk through that quickly. Okay, next slide. Okay, so most of the detail is on the slide, so you guys can feel free to reference it after. On our final deliverable, it's expected to be a customized CAT config for each selected DAO. Also, operation toolkit for monthly credit, grammar, and card checking. And also, we need to support the integrations pilot for each DAO. And also, we should deliver the MVP dashboard prototype. Like every DIP2 DAO, we also have to submit our proposal summary report and the spend tracking. So that's really what we are evaluate against. And plus whether DAO can run a monthly cycle on their own. The next step in step 3, this is an important shift because right now in the KTD as infrastructure layer, and we designing the config for everyone. In step 3, CAT become like the settled infrastructures, and so each DAO can take the ownership of its own config, tier, and privilege directly, and the framework get integrated into the DAO, especially the DAO workbook as part as normal operation. So for the first, so the short versions, our job is to handing off something durable to that DAO can run it themselves. So with that question addressed, I would like to move into the DAO facilitator team reflection and lesson learned for this cohort. Yeah. So first, let's start with lesson learned. First, on the CAT reward and privilege framework, this framework has to be fully understood before we implement anything under it. It's not easy to understand the framework instantly. And when members go in without solid grasp of it, they either feel overwhelmed or end up executing the wrong approach. So this is something we need to slow down and get right from the start, not learn the whole way mid-execution. Second, on contributor payments, KTD follow the Crimea contributor payment guideline, but the DAO still need to define its own specific rule on top of it for some specific case, and we need to get agreement across all members. Third, ambiguous deliverable scope. When working group lead don't define clear deliverable and how they differ from other working group deliverable in the DAO, it can slow down everyone. And people aren't sure what done actually look like, and that's great reward or wasted effort. Four, it's a operation lessons. So code must be uploaded or deleted without the working group lead acknowledgement. And so those are the lessons, and that lead us to things that we want to or wish to improve. First, we're going to run a mandatory CAT framework walkthrough so all DAO members can using the real deliverable example, and they can actually click in practice, not just in theory. Second, we would like to define a DAO-wide contributor payment SOP. It's a one clear, agreed process built on top of Crimea guideline. Third is that before every payout cycle, we want to confirm the per contributor value and amount, and we want to get them sign off and both agree before the allocation begins. And four, once the proposal is approved, that member will define a master work plan together. So everyone is rowing in the same direction from day one. Fifth is that working group lead will need to set a clear deliverable for each milestone ahead of every week. And they need to communicate clear about deadline, expected output to them. And finally, we go into prioritize tasks that build coordination with other DIP3 DAO rather than spend most of our time just to improving or finalizing the internal template or documentation. And that's covered the lesson we learned as a DF and the improvement that we committed to. Now I handle it over to Zoe, who's going to walk us through the next step for KTD DAO.
Hello everyone. For KAT Tokenomics DAO, we are now moving from milestone 1 into the final 2 execution milestones from August 19 to 21. Our priority is to close the milestone 1 contributor payout, finalize the internal tracking, and prepare the milestone 2 funding and voting process. from August 22 to 28th, the main focus will be cross-DAO execution. This is an important stage for KTD because our framework is not meant to stay internal or on document. We need to work directly with other DAOs, support their configuration, and make sure the templates and workflow are actually usable in practice. By August 29 to 31, we will have our formal milestone 2 check-in and review the milestone 2 deliverables and payout. Then from September 1 to 5, we will move into pilot and end-to-end testing, connecting the framework configuration, operating toolkit, checking workflow, and system prototype together. Finally, from September 6th to 10th, we will freeze the integration and prepare the full Dev2 delivery package. After September 10th, we will move into the final milestone review and milestone 3 payout process. So for KTD, the next few weeks are really about moving from design into execution and validation. Internally, we are also refining our working structure into clear own lanes, so each member has more specific ownership, and the dependencies between our framework, documentation, and system prototype are easier to manage. Our biggest priority right now is not to create more theory, but to make sure that we have built what we have built can actually be used by other DAOs, operated with low overhead, and tested through the full workflow of Dev2. We still have quite a lot to deliver before September 10th, so I really appreciate everyone who has continued to step up and support the KTD DAO during this execution phase. And from KTD side, we are looking forward to working more closely with other DAOs during the cross-DAO execution period and learning from your feedback as well as we finalize the Dev2 package. Thank you everyone from KTD DAO. Yeah.